them over as they make their way off the number 4 turn, and they are going to power up. The men that live by the grace of God and 600 horsepower. Getting it on here at Airborne Speedway. And down the back straightaway, it's going to be Zackham leading the parade down the back chute. Pasteryak settles in the third with Bonsignor in the 4th position. Bonsignor has 5 runner-up finishes this year in car number 21. That is a MRS record. Pennick is in 5th, 6th is Savory. Then it's the 66 car. He's getting a challenge on the inside, but got better of it was the car, the red number 2 car, Jeff Malabe. Nose to tail down the back straightaway. Further back, Willis went by Lashore. There goes Missouri to the outside in car number 45. The Valenti Modified Racing Series now in its 11th year, sponsored by Rhode Island and Connecticut Auto Dealership Valenti. Here's Bonsignor to the inside. He's going to make a bid underneath Matt Mead and the 21 car. The Spafko, number 21, rolls in the third. Pasteryak and that Dolly's Custom, number 5, Connecticut, really pressuring the leader here in the early stages. Again, they're going 100 laps. This series does not count caution flags. Green flag racing all the way for the Valenti Modified Racing Series. Pennick in 5th, 6th is Savory. Dylan Kopech is next. Malave, Willis, Missouri, the 45. The guy you want to keep an eye on, and he is notorious for saving the rubber, is car number 9, Tommy Barrett. Throw an occasional peek at him as he is right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars from the back of the field here. When we start to get around the midway point of the race, throw an eye on car number 9. Right now, he's just gone by Medeiros. He and Medeiros exchanged position there. Max Zackham yet to win a race with this series. He's a young driver who is really a veteran with this series now. Got a few laps in the record books with the MRS. Chris Pasteryak, 2-time series champion. He is looking for his first win of 2014. Hard to believe at this point in the schedule that the driver of the 5 Connecticut car has not scored as yet. So Pasteryak continues to hang with Zackham down the front straightaway. Bonsignor still solid. He is in the 3rd spot. Matt Mead started up on the front. And the number 77 is running in the 4th spot. And then Rowan Pennick hanging on to the number 5 position. Some guys out there today that would certainly like to become the 9th different winner here in 14. And those first 2 cars, you can guarantee it, they have yet to visit victory lane here. Richard Savory has had somewhat of a wind drought, but he's a driver that you really cannot count out. That is a potent operation in car number 99. Second generation driver. His father drove modifieds for years, George Savory, and he is in the New England Hall of Fame. And a member of his staff, his crew, and the spotter for Richard Savory is a name that fans here in this region may be familiar with from years gone by, Joey Carafas. Joey Carafas, one of the great names in racing history here in New England. He's the spotter for car number 99. Dylan Kopech stays right with the 99 car number 66. Another one of the many second-generation drivers we've got involved with the Valenti Modified Racing Series. We're all pretty much running the same line going in and coming off the number 2 corner in the same fashion. And pretty much the same out here on the front straightaway. Willis right there with Malave. Pasteryak hanging tough, stays right with Max Zakin. Pasteryak was very fast in the practice sessions today. Bonsignor just laying back there, as are the rest of the field, just letting these two top competitors kind of run away right now. And of course, what does that mean? They are using up the rubber here early on. And speaking of tire maintenance, now look at where number 9 is. Last minute decision for the number 9 car to come here from Millis, Massachusetts, their home base, to Plattsburgh. And that decision was made, I believe, yesterday or maybe late Friday night. And they decided to head out in the wee hours this morning. And right now, the 9 and the 0 car got a little thing going on at the back end of the field. Next time around, they will have completed lap number 23. Zakin has opened up a little bit of real estate between himself and Pasteryak. Or maybe Pasteryak's being told to back out of it a little bit. Let him go. Whatever the case is, Zakin's got the lead. And right now, somewhat healthy, as Bonsignor still solid in third. Matt Mead, this is a real good run for the driver from Richmond, New Hampshire. In car number 77. Savory's right there, knocking on the door behind Pennick. Richard looking to the high side. Pennick's able to beat him out of the second turn as they sprint down the back straightaway. Dylan Kopech in that bright green number 66 follows. Savory's looking to the outside as they work off 4. Not able to bring it up on the outside of that number 25 like he would like to, as Pennick was able to bring it to the wall out here in the front straightaway and kind of shut the door off turn number 4. Willis right there with the 2. We get some side-by-side competition further back. Dan Meserve Jr. is working over the outside of number 17, Donnie Lashua, the Jack Bateman entry. Jack's Racing Engines number 17, fast during practice, but not fast right now as Meserve goes by on the high side in car number 45. Zakin to the stripe, and it will be lap number 30, 3-0, into the record books. Savory continues to take a look off turn number 4 up high. But look at Pennick. He pulls him off the number 2 turn. Only a car length, a little more than a car length on the back straightaway that time between the 25 and the number 99. Again, down the chute, nose to tail. Going to car around on the back straightaway. Car number 52, Chris Barkai, Colchester, Connecticut, in Connecticut. So Savory's going to go tail here as he tries to pick up the back end of the field. Here we go. Green flag is back over the Speedway. Pasteryak is on the bottom, and we've got a good old-fashioned drag race down the back straightaway here at Airborne. Look at this. Pasteryak's got the nose of the 5 Connecticut down low through the 3rd and 4th turn and exits the 4th corner. He leads the lap. Pasteryak's got the top spot here as they came down the front straightaway to complete the 32nd circuit. Oh, Malavi got way high over in the second corner, gathered it up. And 3 cars went by him on the inside. Gene Paul Sears, the 4th car, the number 44 to get by car number 2. Dylan Kopech now is going to charge going. He's right up behind the 77. He's another one of the young drivers in this series that has really shined bright over the last few races. His dad, Chris Kopech, longtime NASCAR rear and modified tour competitor. Here's Gene Paul Sear looking low. He knows the way around this speedway probably better than anybody in the field. He's on the inside of Norm Wren. Wren's able to beat him a bit off the number 4 turn and hold on to the spot. So Chris Pastiak's the leader. Then you've got the number 20 car. Whoa, look at Dylan Kopech's going to go to the inside and challenge for the number 4 spot. Put it up North Ball on the inside of Matt Mead. And down into turn number 1, who's going to prevail here? Side by side off the corner, and it'll be Mead hanging on to the number 4 spot. So a good challenge from Dylan Kopech, showing the 70-70 means business. Barrett still loitering out back in car number 9. We'll start to watch for him to turn up the wick here as we're bearing down on lap number 40. Monsignor looks like he wants, well, I thought he was going to make a good run there with the Zachem car. He stays low off the number 4 turn, inching closer and closer to the number 20. Way up high and quick off the number 2 turn is the 20 Connecticut car Zachem. Here comes Bonsignor to the inside. The Holtzville, New York driver, that's Long Island, New York, putting all kinds of pressure on the number 20 car. Keeping that line low through the first and second turn. Kopech still trying to catch up again to the number 77. 40 laps are into the record books. Here's Bonsignor again challenging for the number 2 spot. Justin Bonsignor trying to put the Art and Kenny Barry number 21 car in the second spot. And Bonsignor's got a slight advantage. Now he puts his foot into it, and he's got the number 2 position. Look at Meservey starting to work his way up here behind the number 66. Dan Meservey Jr. He is a former Wheeling Tour guy that came to run this series last year. His dad, a longtime racer here in New England. Madero's doing a nice job in car number 50. Down the back straightaway, Pastiak's got some lead here. As we get closer and closer, car number 43. Or lap number 43. Mead inches a little closer to Zachem. Dylan Kopech, good run there. 5th spot, 6th is Meservey, 7th Maderos. 8th is the 53 Wren. 9th is Gene Paul Sear. And 10th is Rowan Pennick. Now Pennick ran strong early on, but he has settled back into the 10th spot. Only one caution has flown on lap number 32 to slow it. Down the back straightaway. Cars are pretty well stretched out. We'll see how the second half of this race is going to play out. Monsignor closing on the 5 Connecticut car. And the 21 is right there behind the race leader. Pastiak pulls him down the back straightaway, stretches it out a little bit. Justin comes right up behind through the turns. And Chris is able to again pull away on the front chute. Okay, we are going to be halfway out here at the stripe. 50 down, 50 to go. We have reached the halfway mark in this 100-lap feature here as Bonsignor is going to try to keep strides with the 5 Connecticut car. Chris Pastiak. Pastiak's got himself a fast hot rod this afternoon. Strong during practice, strong here over the first 51 laps. Tommy Barrett, very much off the mark here in car number 9, uncharacteristic of the driver from Millis, Massachusetts. He's just out for a Sunday drive here in the Champlain Valley. Pastriak's coming up right behind. Bonsignor doing everything he can to keep pace with the race leader. That's not where Justin Bonsignor wants to be when that checkered flag falls. He has 5 runner-up positions, finishes I should say, in the number 21. Matthew Mead staying with the 77. A correction, the number 20 car. Mead's in the 77, the 20 car. Max Zackham staying right there. And back in the 5th spot is Dylan Kotek, the 66. Sixth is Meserve, 7th is Wren, 8th Medeiros, 9th is Pennick, 10th is Sear. Be 59 laps into the books when they come down the front straightaway. 59. Bruce Pastriak is a 6-time series winner. His last win coming September 9th, 2011. So Pastriak is due. Second generation driver from Connecticut. His dad and his Uncle Carl started their modified racing careers back in the mid-70s. There goes Barrett ahead of Holdridge. They got their own thing going on back there for bragging rights in Millis and Manchester. Coming around to complete lap number 63. Bonsignor still trying to beat feet and catch up to the 5 Connecticut in the corners. But Pastriak is much quicker. Zackham still holding on to 3rd, but Matt Mead is right with him. We may have something developing for the 3rd spot here, as the 77 is right there with the 20 Connecticut car on the back straightaway. Wren's closing. Wren is right up behind the 66. So Norm Wren's trying to get into the top 5 here in car number 53. Hanging tough. Right behind Dylan Kotek. One yellow so far. Wren stays right with the 66 on the back straightaway, right up behind him in 3. Medeiros is right on the bumper of Meserve, a little bumper tag there, no harm done. The youngster out of Westport, Mass. looks to the inside of the 45 car. And they got a good challenge off the number 2 turn going on there. Put the Rowan Penix to the inside. He's challenging for the position as he goes underneath the number 50 down the front straightaway. And drag races that black number 50 car down the chute. Look at Medeiros, look to the inside, almost made contact, no problem there. They continue racing off of turn number 2. Pennick now is going to come right up behind the 45. Looks to the low side off the turn, settles in behind the 45 car. Wren's on the inside of Kotek, so we got some racing going on behind the lead cars. And it is right now for the 5th spot. Wren works over the 66. Pennick works over the inside of Meserve Jr. They're side by side out here in the front chute. Who is going to come out of that? It's going to be Pettick. Nope, it's Meserve. Look at Meserve, strong off the corner. Side by side of the back straightaway again. Passing flag being shown out here to the slower cars. There goes Willis to the inside of Meserve. So Pettick in the 25 and Willis in the 38 slide by the number 45 car. Richard Savory comes along. He gets up behind the number 50. So some close racing going on further back. There goes Savory to the inside of Medeiros. 72 laps are in the books. The cautions have not fallen, I think, the way some of these drivers thought they may. But this race is not over yet. Here's Medeiros and Savory duking it out on the back straightaway. Savory's going to go to the inside of Meserve Jr., work him over from there. Out of the turn. Oh boy, 3 cars close bunched together down the front straightaway. And Savory got by. Medeiros got by the 45. And it's Donnie Lasher in the 17. Now Tommy Barrett, he's up behind Jeff Malave in car number 2. So it's going to go right down to the wire here. 25 laps. This has turned into a Saturday night 25-lap go, if you will, between the leaders here. Pasteryak trying to keep that number 21 car at bay, and Bonsignor continues to work him over. These two are going to have at it for the victory here. Is Bonsignor right there off the turn. Chris shoots up to the high side off the number 2 corner. Zackham is still third. Nice run there. Here's the battle for the lead now. Out of turn number 4, they're going to drag race down the front straightaway, and Pasteryak hangs on to the lead. Bonsignor says, hold on, I'm coming with you. And Chris holds on to the number 1 spot. Holdridge slows in car number 0. Mike Holdridge off the pace in car number 0, stays to the bottom of the speedway to let the other cars go by. 78 laps. When they come to the line, it'll be 79. 79 laps completed here. And the show is going to be the top 2 cars. That's the storyline here in this one. And it has been for quite some time in the running of this 100-lap feature race for the BMRS. Look at Zackham now. Zackham's starting to close. Zackham's turned it up a notch here. We might have a 3-car battle. We got a car going around. It is Tommy Barrett on the back straightaway. Barrett on. Thing to see those that went into the pit area. See how they shake things out here. Pennick's also back. Here's the green flag, and here we go. Down into the turn here. Pasteryak and Bonsignor. Bonsignor's got the lead. Here comes the 77 on the outside of Zackham. Pasteryak right up behind the number 21. Into the corner they go. A lot of bumping and banging going on here. 3 wide out of the turn as they come off the corner. That's Donnie Lashley. Lashley in the 17 car went right underneath Willis. Here comes the number 9 car, Tommy Barrett. Down the back straightaway in the turn number 3. The field is nose to tail. Barrett's passing cars like Barrett passes cars with this series. He made an unbelievable 3-wide pass at Stafford last week that just lit up the crowd and had everybody in an oh wow. Wow, he got by. He got him high there with the number 99 car off the corner. Here they come now right up behind. Off the number 4 turn. Down the chute they come. Barrett's right behind Pettick. We have 82 laps into the record books. We have Kopech over the top of the number 1 corner in the number 66. Tough break for it's the closest on our series for them to travel to. So he considers this his home track. All right, the motors are going to roar. 600 horsepower. Here we go. Green flag down the straightaway. Bonsignor with a very persistent Max Zackham right behind on the outside of Chris Pasteryak. Richard Savory's gone dirt tracking down the back straightaway and brings it back out onto the asphalt. Meanwhile, back at the ranch out here in the front straightaway, it is Tommy Barrett and Rowan Pettick. Barrett on the bottom, Pettick on the outside, northbound to northbound, wheel to wheel. Pettick with a slight advantage down the back straightaway, making Barrett work. Barrett to the bottom, and he stays there, goes by Pettick, now comes to the inside of Meade and car number 77. Matt Meade's going to try to get it down low. That's where they want him. They want Barrett to go to the outside to try to go by there. Here goes Barrett here. He did a little bit of a crossover, if you will, in between 1 and 2. Pennick stays there. Willis and Wren battling, wheel to wheel, North Bar to North Bar, off of turn number 4, as they come rocketing down the front straightaway. Into the corner. Now Barrett's up high here, and he is really working it down the back straightaway. He's going to go to the bottom here and take a look underneath Meade. Meade didn't protect that bottom, and that's given the door to the number 9, but didn't get it. He did not get it. He's going to have to go to the outside one more time. Spotters will tell him the 77. Watch the bottom. There goes Barrett to the inside. Wheel to wheel, and Tommy Barrett's going to roll into the 4th position. 87 laps into the books. Bonsignor looking for his first. Chris Pasteryak looking for his first this year. Zackham looking for his first career win. And I should specify, Bonsignor is looking for his first career win with this series. Here comes Tommy Barrett to the inside. He's going to go wheel to wheel with the number 20 Connecticut car, Zackham. Zackham hanging tough on the outside. But Barrett goes by and he rolls in the 3rd. We're getting another Tommy Barrett show here with the Valenti Modified Racing Series coming up behind the 5 Connecticut car. Down the straightaway they come. Strong off turn number 2 to the inside. He picks off Pasteryak. And now there's nothing between he and Bonsignor but some asphalt to cover. Bonsignor, you know they're telling him Barrett is on the way. There's going to be 8 laps to go. Are we going to have another thriller here at Airborne with this series? Back in 2010, a lapped car became a player in that finish. This time around, we've got a clean Speedway ahead of these lead cars. 93 down. Barrett pedaling as fast as he can. He's quick off too, and he's going right after the number 21 car. Here they come off the turret. Down the straightaway. Bonsignor is going to have his hands full here in the closing laps as the number 9 car comes right up behind him. He's going to go to the outside. He knew Bonsignor was going to try to protect the bottom, and he's doing it. Here they are out of the turn. It's going to be something special here as we go into turn number 1 between these 2. Tommy Barrett, Justin Bonsignor, inches apart. There's going to be 4 laps to go. Bonsignor's looking for his first ever. Off the number 2 turn. Look at Barrett. Reel him in. Goes to the outside. Chris Pasteryak, Zackham 3rd, 4th. Meade is 5th. Across the stripe. Side by side into turn number 1. 97 laps complete. Justin Bonsignor doing what a leader can, using a lot of racetrack. Here they are, side by side now. We're going to get the 2 to go sign from the flag stand. Oh my. 2 more to go. Reminiscent of 2010, we had a battle between Pennick and Hinckley. This time it's Bonsignor and the number 9 car. Here's your white flag. 1 more lap to go. Bonsignor trying to hang on. Tommy trying to win another, his 2nd in a row. Oh, Bonsignor shot to the high side. Down the back straightaway. Now the checkers. Look at this. Tommy's right there. He's going to try to set him up down low, but he's not going to be able to get it done. Bonsignor wins it. The 9 car goes 2nd. 3rd will go to the 5. That's Chris Pasteryak. He'll get a podium out of it. And the 4th spot, Zackham and Meade in the 77 rounds out the top thing until the checkered came down on the last lap. Tommy Barrett once again putting on a show, as did several drivers in the field here this afternoon. That in itself is a series record. But today, the Spearpoint Racing, Spafco, Race Cars and Parts, number 21, is in victory lane with one of Modified Racing Series young stars from Holtzville, New York, and that's Justin Bonsignor. Tommy Barrett finished runner-up, put on quite a show in the Dunleavy's truck and trailer repair. Victory lane, bar and grill, number 9 car. Chris Pastiak, the Dolly's Collision and Custom, number 5, Connecticut. Solid performance from the second-generation driver from Connecticut. Now, sorting things out here, we're going to go trackside. Rob is standing by, and he's going to talk to a very jubilant and very excited Justin Bonsignor. Down to you, Rob.
All right, thanks a lot, John Spence. Justin, come on over this way. Come on over. All right, a native New Yorker gets the win this afternoon at Airborne Speedway, and take me through the final 5 laps. You really had to work to hold off Tommy Barrett in the 9.
Yeah, they played the game pretty well with saving their tires, and we kind of expected that. But it was a long day. We had no power steering, no radios, and then with 10 to go, when he really got to us, I think with battery or something was starting to go because it would shut off halfway down the straightaway. And you know, I hate to win them that way, but I had to run Tommy up each corner. That was my only chance. I kind of thought it was out of fuel, and just kind of doing what I had to do to win the race. Is what it is, but glad to get the 21 to victory lane. It's a legendary car. Been around a long time. It's been an awesome year, a lot of seconds and thirds. So to get a victory for Art and Kenny and the whole team, it's really cool.
This is your first career victory with the Valente Modified Racing Series. Tell me about your impressions of this racetrack.
Wasn't too excited to have to come all the way up here, but what a fun racetrack. I'm really glad we had this on the schedule. Progressive banking, I've always said that's what modifieds need to put on a good race, and this is definitely a really good racehorse racetrack, and hopefully we can come back next year and do it again.
Well, congratulations on the victory. You certainly earned it in those closing laps. Nice job.
Thank you, and I appreciate all the fans and everybody coming out today, and hopefully you guys were impressed.
All right, so Justin Bonsignor with
Mike Hall from Malone. 25 laps to distance. Hino Booten set to kick it off the 4th turn. Green flag is out. Up into turn number 1, Hino shows the way. Doors open for Atkins. Can Atkins get there? No, he can't. Sideways is Booten. Booten has the field binding up. And really, the guy that got the worst end of that is Bucko Branham in the number 20. Branham and the 40 of Chase got together. That's after Booten in the 25 was sideways off the 2nd turn. Battle for the lead heats up. Here goes Brandon Atkins atop the track with the number 4 car. Atkins tries to make it stick outside Hino 07. Nick Sweet throw his name in the mix. He's right there underneath the 07 of Hino. As this time off the 4th turn, Atkins going to take the lead away. Brandon Atkins in the 4 car shows the way from the top of the racetrack. Nick Sweet has slid his car up the track. The Gary Clay number 88 today for Nick Sweet. He is now in a 2nd. Hino drops back to 3rd, and Lagoy looking for more on the top of the racetrack. If you want to get by the 07, the outside lane is open. Now the 07 slides up the racetrack to block Lagoy. Lagoy says no thank you, punts him. And Hino with a nice save. Bobby Tarian ends up making his way through down on the bottom. As Hino in the 07 continues to ride in position number 4 with Lagoy right behind. Here comes Bucko Branham up the inside. Bucko Branham on the inside line has worked his way up into position number 5 after the early contact with a 40 of Chase. After the 25 of Booten was sideways. Now Branham in the 20 trying to look underneath the 07 of Hino for position number 4, and at the line Hino holds him off. Boy, you don't want to mess with Bucko Branham. I know Hino in the first feature wanted to try the bump and rub with the 7 of Lagoy. He tried it with Branham, but he's not the guy to mess with. Back out front, it's Brandon Atkins in the 4 with the 88 of Nick Sweet, just a car length off the back bumper. That last time in turns 3 and 4, it appeared as though the 88 of Sweet had a peek underneath Brandon Atkins, but Atkins holding him off. Atkins already this season with 1 feature victory in the late model division. He's looking to pick up his 2nd here as he shows the way on lap number 7. Nick Sweet in the 88 runs in 2nd. Bobby Tarian running in 3rd. 4th right now is Eric Chase in the 40 as Bucko Branham took the 20 up to the top of the racetrack, and that car was bad loose. He's back in the 5th spot. It's Lagoy and Hino battling for the 6th spot as they slam one another off the 4th turn. Lagoy has that position right now. It's Kevin Booten back in 8th, and 9th is Mike Hall in the 09 car. Down the backstretch, it's side by side for the 6th position now. LaDoy ends up making his way through. And the battle for the lead is heating up. The 88 of Nick Sweet sees the 5 of Therian coming in the rearview mirror. And Sweet says it's time to go. He pulls to the outside of Brandon Atkins, but has no running room. Now he's going to look underneath and off of turn 4, slide up the racetrack. But Atkins doing a good job running a middle groove, taking some of the racing room away from Nick Sweet in that 88 car. Atkins, a bit of a bobble off of turn number 2. That allowed Sweet to pull right to the back bumper, and here comes Bobby T. Therian in the subway number 5 looks to the outside of Nick Sweet in the 88, and I have a feeling Sweet is ready to get going. Sweet's going to do all he can to look underneath Brandon Atkins here off of turn 2. He can't get there. Side by side now for the 2nd spot. It's a 3-car battle for the lead. Throw a blanket on those top 3 cars. Bobby Therian's going to drive right around the 88 of Sweet, and he's likely going to drive around the 4 of Atkins in the same lap. Atkins tried to make that car wide, but he bobbled down low in turn number 1. And here goes Bobby Therian to the point. That could be game, set, match as they come around this time for the halfway point. But Atkins fighting back. Brandon Atkins trying to hang with him down on the inside, and at the line it's going to be Therian by about a nose. Nick Sweet going to try and follow around Bobby T. On the outside groove. Can't happen. Bobby T still has the nose out in front as they enter turn number 3. Atkins sticks the nose out in front. He's able to drive it deeper into the corner. Here they come again. Drag race off the 4th turn. This time at the line, it's still going to be Bobby Therian. Not by much. A seesaw battle out front with the 4 of Brandon Atkins and the 5 of Bobby Therian. Look out. Atkins pushed up the racetrack a bit. Therian had to get on the binders. That's allowing Nick Sweet in the 88 to get underneath the 5 of Therian to take the 2nd spot back. But here comes Therian on the outside. Bobby Therian in the number 5 car is taking the 2nd spot back over. Brandon Atkins developing a push in that number 4 car. That car's beginning to go away, and he's fighting the handle, you can tell. Atkins in the 4 trying to keep that car down to the inside with Therian coming back on top of the racetrack at the line. Therian's got the position, and Therian drives left and tells him that last time off of turn number 2 didn't really appreciate the fact that he got pushed up the racetrack. Going into turn number 3, Therian tries to close the door. Atkins fighting back down on the inside. And down at the line, it's going to be Therian with the lead by about half a car. Nick Sweet in the number 88 car watches that battle go on side by side, waiting for a hole. Nick's got nowhere to go. Look out, Atkins and the 5 of Therian end up getting together. And who's going to inherit the lead? It's going to be the 88 of Nick Sweet, as Atkins in the 4 and Therian in the 5 car got together. Nick Sweet, 88. Eric Chase, 40. That's the front row. Getting ready to go. Here they come. Slow pace set off the 4th turn. Green. Flag is out. An advantage. Top side, Eric Chase. Chase in the number 40 shows the way. It's Bucko Branham in the number 20 car running in 3rd. Bobby Therian in the 5 is trying to get back to position number 3. Nick Sweet, Eric Chase. Nose and nose out front at the line. It's going to be Nick Sweet in the 88 car. Eric Chase puts the bumper to him a bit in turn number 1. Tries to get him a bit sideways. Bucko Branham is taking the 20 back up to the top side. Brandon Atkins is fought back into the position number 5. It's Therian inside in the number 5 car. Atkins atop in the number 4 in the 4 car, racing in the 5th position, trying to find his way back into the mix. Therian now in the 5, trying to look underneath the 40 of Eric Chase. He's got room down to the inside. Bucko's going to have to try to follow him down to the inside as the 40 pushed up the racetrack. 5 laps to go this time by for Nick Sweet in the 88. 5 up there and pushed up the racetrack just a bit. Eric Chase in the 40. Down on the inside. Branham in the 20 trying to get underneath him. Nosed him up just a bit. Branham through to position number 3. No, at the line. Chase had it. Chase had the spot at the line. A side-by-side battle off the 2nd turn between the 20 of Branham and the 40 of Eric Chase. They race side-by-side coming off of turn number 4. Down at the line, Chase still has the position by a bumper. Out front, Nick Sweet's checking out. Nick Sweet's going to see the popsicle sticks this time around. It's going to be 2 laps to go. The best battle on the track is for 3rd between Bucko Branham and the 20, the 40 of Eric Chase, and now the 4 of Brandon Atkins. 2 laps to go for Nick Sweet. Atkins eyes in on that battle. as he is trying to get underneath the 20 of Branham. Branham really fights the handle off the second turn. That allows Chase to cut back on the outside. Chase in the number 40. He tries to inch off with the progressive banking, but he can't quite get there. He's going to try the crossover move down to the inside with the white flag out. Chase this time pulls the same move that Bucko did in the first race. Bucko's going to hook him. Bucko hooks him and sends him off into the bunker. And coming to the checkered flag, it's going to be Nick Sweet in the 88. Bobby Terry in second. Third is going to be Bucko Branham. Fourth, Brandon Atkins. Fifth will be Arthur Hino. Sixth, the 25 of Kevin Boutin. And boy, think back to the first.
All right, here comes Nick Sweet out of a car. Give him a nice round of applause. It's his third win of the 2014 racing season here at Airborne. And we'll get a word with Nick. Nick, come on over so we can get you on camera up there. Well, for you, it looked as though it might have been a third place finish, but then the leaders got together and the race kind of came right in your favor. And on the restart, you were able to pull away.
Yeah, I was really happy with that. Looks like I got a little body work here to do, but a good race all in all. That one got a little rough, but that's what you guys came to see, I think. So it was a good race all in all.
Overall, not necessarily a deep car count today, but for sure the racing was excellent. A lot of side-by-side racing for you, especially with Eric Chase.
Yeah, definitely. I got to thank him for letting me race this car here, and thank all you guys for coming out today and spending a day at the racetrack.
Nick, third win this year. Nice job.
Hey, thank you very much.
That's Nick Sweet. He picks up his third win of the year.
Morrisonville. West AZ's Chris Frenier in the 93. The 30 is Jason Christ. The 78, Vince Quinville from Brandon, Vermont. The 29, Nick Haywood, Airborne Speedway track champion. It's the 80 of Andy Haywood, and shotgun on the field, Andrew Bordeaux in the 08. That's the field. The green flag is out as they race down the backstretch.
Leon Gagno has the lead from the top of the racetrack on board the number 4X. Behind him in the 4, that is Keith Pelkey. The 27 of Ronnie Proctor is trying to move through down on the inside. Ron Proctor wheel to wheel with the 4 of Keith Pelkey. Give Proctor that spot down on the inside. Boy, poor draw for the 29 of Haywood as he's going to have to come from deep in the field on this one. There's Mueller. Mueller gets a piece of the 27 of Proctor. He's got to get on the binders as they kick up a bit of dust over in turn number 4. The 20X of Bobby Therrien trying to move to the front. He's doing so down on the inside. He runs behind Mike Wells in the number 76 car. Wells right now tries to run a middle groove. Now comes down to the bottom of the racetrack, shuts the door on Therrien. A little point of the black flag to the 20X, it looked like Bobby Therrien for some reason. I didn't catch what it was. Nonetheless, he gets the point, and here he goes now looking to move underneath Mike Wells in the number 76 car.
Vince Quinville was sideways off of turn number 2. He clipped the left rear tire of Nick Haywood as he was sideways off the turn. Haywood was able to continue at speed. Now remember, one of the key things in this event, Haywood has to charge to the front because NASCAR bonus points are on the line. And those NASCAR point standings are really tight. Stuart Friesen, the reason why he's here today on board the Mueller Motorsports 19X is because he wants to maintain the point lead in the state point standings for NASCAR. And Haywood with the number 29 was just 1 point behind him. And he's got about 6 cars to pass before he gets to Stuart Friesen in that 19X machine, and he's coming off of turn number 4.
That's the Friesen reason, and he's trying to move his way to the front right now outside the 20 of Jamie LaFountain. Friesen in that number 19 car, driving a different car than when he drove in the first Sportsman modified feature. But Haywood, it's a time now for Nick where you don't really need to be careful. The track championship is already locked up. Put the foot to the floor and, well, you don't want to destroy your car at the same time, but put the foot to the floor and risk it a little bit as he's got to get moving because that 19 of Friesen is moving towards the front.
He does have some extra time, of course, 50 laps the distance in this one. So he's got a little extra time to make his way towards the front, but right now it's the Leon Gagno show.
Gagno has a backstretch lead over Tyson Drown. Ron Proctor in the 27 runs in third. Jesse Mueller is fourth in the 19. Bobby Terrian runs in the fifth spot of the 20X, and then it is the number 20 machine for Jamie LaFountain. He is back in the sixth position. Then it is Stuart Friesen running in seventh. Here comes Friesen on the inside, looking underneath the 20 of Jamie LaFountain. LaFountain able to hold him off for now. Travis Bruno is going to get a spot on the 4 of Keith Pelkey. He's sliding back, and now Haywood going to the outside, trying to get around Cody Albin in car number 7.
Tim Morgan kicks up some dirt in the bunker in the 29X car. He was off the pace. He's going to have to rejoin at the tail end of the field. Look out, there goes Mike Wells. Mike Wells might have right front spindle issue. He made contact with the back end of the 4 of Keith Pelkey. Vince Grenville, of course, finding himself mixed up in the mess as well, having to play dodgeball, avoiding that 76 car as he shot up the racetrack. Here comes Jesse Mueller in the 19 down on the inside. Mueller to second, Tyson Brown back to third. Fourth is the 27 of Ron Proctor, and in fifth right now, it is the 20X of Bobby Terrian.
Jesse Mueller going to begin chase on Leon Gagno. I don't believe he'll chase Gagno down, but should a caution come out, that certainly puts him in the mix. He'll be right on the front row with Leon on a restart. Gagno still maintaining a sizable advantage out front. It's nearly the full backstretch over Mueller in the 19. Drown runs in third. Running in the fourth spot, the 27 of Ron Proctor. Then it is the 20X of Bobby Terrian. Stuart Friesen runs in the sixth position. Seventh is Mark Lamberton. Eighth is Jason Durgan. Ninth is Travis Bruno. 10th is Jamie LaFountain. And moving into the 11th spot is Nick Haywood. Haywood's making pretty steady progress. He's 14 laps in plus. So he still has a lot of time to get to the front. Figures that there will be a caution somewhere along the line as well. But Haywood's number 29 machine trying to get towards the front of the field, as he is running a good gap right now behind Jamie LaFountain. He's put a pretty good distance between himself and Keith Pelkey in the number 4. And they're all chasing Leon Gagno. Here comes Gagno off of turn number 4 to complete lap number 16.
Gagno certainly looking strong in that number 4 car. It's still the 19 of Stuart Friesen trying to work his way towards the front. Friesen in the 19X is looking to find a way around now the 20X of Bobby Terrian. That car is pretty well hooked up for the 19 of Friesen as he looks to go here in turn number 3. Takes a look down underneath Terrian. He can't quite get there. Here comes Lamberton in the 44 car. Mark Lamberton in number 44 takes a look up top, but then he's got to back out of that mode. He's got Jason Durgan right behind him. Out front it is still Leon Gagno. Jesse Mueller appears to be cutting into the deficit ever so slightly. And then it's another large gap back to the 6 of Tyson Drown. It's Bobby Terrian getting around the 27 of Ron Proctor. Proctor back to position number 5. Then it's Stuart Friesen in the 19X. Mark Lamberton, Jason Durgan, Travis Bruno, Jamie LaFountain, and then Nick Haywood in the number 29. Nearing the 20 lap mark. It'll be 30 laps to go for this race the next time around for the number 4X of Leon Gagno.
Nick Haywood looks down to the inside of Jamie LaFountain over in turn number 2. LaFountain will hold serve for now, but Haywood is on the prowl for that spot. And once he can clear LaFountain, he will be chasing down some of the heavy hitters in this division, as there is wheel-to-wheel racing now for the position on track. That is the 3rd spot. Leon Gagno has clearly fallen back into the clutches of Jesse Mueller. Something amiss with that 4 machine, as here comes Mueller. He's going to drive right around. That's just way too easy. Right rear tire is flat on Leon Gagno's number 4 car. Awful break for Leon. He's got a right rear tire that is flat. That gives the lead to Jesse Mueller. Second in the 20X is Bobby Terrian. Third in the number 6 machine, and the yellow comes out. The yellow was out for Gagno in the number 4. Mueller and Terrian. Here they come off of turn number 4 down along the front stretch. There's the green flag. They touch, coming to take the green flag. Terrian on the outside. Mueller getting together down low. Terrian trying to get a good run there. 3 wide off of turn number 2. Oh, it really boxes up. Jason Durgan gets a piece of it. Haywood sneaks by down on the inside. There goes Bruno to the top of the racetrack. Mike Wells with the 76. He has broken along the front, and the yellow flag is out. And also involved, it looks like, finish line. Friesen is back, so they were able to fix that 19X machine. They changed the right rear, get him back out on track. Green flag is out. So we'll see how he runs from the back of the pack. Here is Bobby Terrian for the lead from the outside. Terrian grabs the lead off turn number 2. He's got the lead going into 3 and 4. Look at Nick Haywood going the outside line. He tries to get to the outside of Jason Durgan. That line taken away by Durgan as he pushed up the track. Haywood will again look to the outside. It is Durgan down low now. He'll dime in the turn. Go, oh, Travis Bruno's in trouble. Travis Bruno in the 69 Goes high off the top of turn number 2, and he is going to lose a whole bunch of spots. A bad break for Travis Bruno as he goes almost to the very back of the pack. Out front is Bobby Terrian pulling away by 2 car lengths over the 19 of Jesse Mueller. Then it's Ron Proctor sitting in third. Haywood looking down low to the inside of Jason Durgan in car number 17. Durgan holding to the 4th spot, but right on his back bumper, Nick Haywood in the 29. Mark Lamberton also closing in. Lamberton just off the back bumper of Haywood in that 29 car. Vince Quinville is on the move. Car number 78 moving into the 7th spot. As here comes the 20 of Jamie LaFountain trying to get underneath the 6 of Tyson Drown. Drown is going backwards in that 6 car.
Well, that's good news for Vince Quinville, is at one point in this race, Vince Quinville was deep in the field after contact, and he slid off the top of turn number 2. Had to avoid a couple of mishaps, and Vince Quinville's got that 78 moving towards the front. However, he is really working that right rear tire. Nick Haywood trying to move through. He does pass the 27 of Ron Proctor. Jason Durgan, I thought that contact with the 6 of Tyson Drown might have wreaked havoc on that number 17 machine, especially the right front. However, that car has just gotten faster. Durgan in the 17, remember earlier in the day, was stout in his qualifier. But then come feature time was bogged out and didn't really have a place to go, and then ran into a little bit of bad luck. Nick Haywood's car looks like it's moving though. Haywood seems to be on a rail. Right now he's just riding around behind Durgan. Durgan slides up off the 4th turn. Passing flag being shown in the 80 of Andy Haywood as Bobby Terrian puts him a lap down. Jesse Mueller in the number 19 runs in second. It's Jason Durgan in third with Nick Haywood all over the back bumper, and then the 44 Mark Lamberton rounds out the top 5. That's how they run right now, with Leon Gagnon and Stu Friesen trying to charge through the field.
Andy Haywood's in trouble. He got a piece of the wall. Right rear tire down on the 80 machine of Andy Haywood, and there goes Jamie LaFountain around the 30 of Jason Chris and the 20 of Jamie LaFountain getting together. The yellow flag to this race is 7th. Leon Gagnon, how about his recovery? He's up to 8th. Can't count him out, as we still have 22 laps to go. How about a little accordion music in turns 3 and 4? Here they come along the front stretch now, and the green flag is out. They work off of turn number 2 down the back stretch. A good restart for Terrian on the outside line. Jesse Mueller in the inside trying to stick with him, but that line is working perfectly for the 20X. Bobby Terrian will start to pull away. Nick Haywood has gone to the 3rd position. He restarted 4th on the grid. He is right on the back bumper of the 19 of Mueller. Haywood in the 29, Mueller in the number 19 machine, running 2nd and 3rd on the Speedway. 2 good young drivers, and Mueller in the 19 and Nick Haywood in the 29. Jason Durgan is 4th. Mark Lamberton runs in the 5th spot. Ron Proctor has faded back to 6th. Vince Quinville runs in 7th. Stu Friesen has recovered up to the 8th position as he has made a move past Leon Gagnon, who is now running in the 9th spot. Mark Lamberton's 44 looking to the inside of the 17 of Jason Durgan. Racing for the 4th position. Here comes Lamberton in the number 44. He'll move through on the inside. He's got 4th. Bobby Terrian starting to pull away. The 19 of Jesse Mueller runs 2nd. Nick Haywood appears to be faster in the 29, and now he's going to make a move. Here comes Haywood down to the inside, wheel to wheel into turn number 3. Haywood pins it down low to the inside. Mueller to the top, and there goes Haywood to the 2nd spot. Nick Haywood moved to the 2nd position. Now he'll begin chase of Bobby Terrian. He's got 17 laps to make a move and chase him down. It is the 20X of Terrian. 2nd is Haywood in the 29. 3rd, Mueller in the 19, and his car appears to be fading. Mark Lamberton is chasing him down with the number 44. 5th, Jason Durgan. 6th, Ron Proctor. Stu Friesen runs in the 7th spot. 8th, Vince Quinville. And Leon Gagnon now back in the 9th spot with the number 4. Here comes Friesen looking to the inside of turn number 3. Proctor closes the door as they all continue to chase Bobby Terrian. It's now just a car link with Nick Haywood practically on the back bumper.
Yeah, here goes Haywood in turn number 2. He's going to look to the top of the racetrack and vault off the 2nd turn. Into turn number 3, Lamberton looks underneath Mueller. Meanwhile, Haywood trying to find a way around the 20X of Terrian. Terrian still showing the way, trying to run a bottom groove and then push up to the top of the racetrack and pick up some of that progressive banking. Meanwhile, Friesen has got around Ron Proctor's number 27 machine. Out front, it's Bobby Terrian, a little wiggle that time off the 4th turn. That allows Nick Haywood to close and think about a move to the outside. Haywood with a good, strong run that time off the 2nd turn. He's going to look down to the inside. The pass for the lead could come here. No, Terrian shuts the door.
Nick Haywood has to back out of it in turn number 3 as Vince Quinville might have gotten the right side tires off in the bunker. And he runs right now between the Timco number 27 of Ron Proctor. Out front, it's still Therian. Therian now with about a 2-car length advantage over the 29 of Haywood. Then it's about 2 more back to Mueller, who seems to be catching right back up, as the 20X may be ever so slightly slowing. And the 44 of Lamberton just a couple back. Here goes Haywood again. Haywood, a good run off the second turn, but Therian drives it deeper. Now this time Haywood going to try and power down on the corner. He can't do it, but he's still right there on the back bumper.
But you saw Haywood pull away from Jesse Mueller, the 19. Mueller is getting back in the mix because I think it's a 20X of Therian right now who is running the slower times of those cars that are in the top 4. But he is really doing a nice job of trying to hold off the 29 of Nick Haywood, making it difficult for Haywood to build up momentum to make a pass for the lead. Haywood goes to the top of turn 1, now back down low into turn number 2. He's right on the back bumper. He lets Therian know that he's there. But Bobby Therian is not going to be an easy guy to get through. He is doing a nice job holding off the challenge of Nick Haywood as lap number 42 goes up on the board. Again, Haywood looking towards the middle of the racetrack, back down low to the inside. Jesse Mueller in third is 2-car lengths behind Haywood. Now Haywood looks to the outside going to turns 3 and 4. Therian's going to pin it down low. Here comes Haywood right up towards the wall off the 4th turn, down to the stripe. And it's still Bobby Therian holding him off.
Therian trying to hold him off. Nick Haywood trying to get there. Haywood let him know a couple of times that he was there and he wants to go down the backstretch. It's just a matter of when Nick Haywood can find some room. Nick hasn't played any dirty card in the corners. He's played it nice, but now he knows it's time to go. In the straights, he's giving him a bump to let him know, I'm here and I want to go now. Nick Haywood is there again, a car length, just now half a car length off the back bumper in turn number 3. Haywood's going to take it up towards the middle groove, try and dime in the corner and drive off the corner with 5 laps to go. Bobby Therian still shows the way.
Can Therian hold off Nick Haywood? Haywood again will go to the top of turn number 2. He gets a good run down the backstretch, just about drawing to the back bumper in turns 3 and 4. Mueller with a good view of the battle in front of him. Haywood goes high. Therian diamonds the turn also, and he maintains the momentum. He's getting off at turn number 4 really well. I think he's struggling over in turn number 2. That's where Haywood closes. But he is really hitting turn number 4. That's where Bobby Therian is making up ground. Whatever ground he loses in turn 2, he seems to pick back up in turn number 4. He takes it right up towards the wall again. Maybe not quite as good that time as Nick Haywood closes into 1 and 2. Here comes Haywood after him on the outside. Again, Therian drifts up the racetrack. There's no room there for Nick Haywood. They race down the backstretch into turn number 3. Bobby Therian trying to hold him off. Haywood comes back down low to the inside. Popsicle sticks are out. Just 2 laps to go. Can the Heinsberg, Vermont driver hold him off? Therian in the 20X. Look out. Timex Morgan's got a tire down over in turn number 2. The leaders all work underneath. He's going to hang the right turn, head back to the garage area. It is Haywood in the 29. Oh, now there's a pretty good gap behind the 20X of Therian. Here comes the leader off of turn 4 down to the stripe. The white flag is out. I think Haywood backed off after he saw that slow car on the top of turn number 2, and he's a good 5 car lengths behind. Therian down the backstretch into 3 and 4. I think he's going to win it. Here he comes through turn number 4 down the front stretch. How about that? Bobby Therian holds off Nick Haywood. Haywood second, third, Jesse Mueller fourth, the Mark Lamberton fifth, goes to the 19X of Stu Fries, and 6th, Jason Durgan, 7th, Vince Quinville, 8th, Leon Gagno, Ron Proctor 9th, 10th to Travis Bruno, 11th is Andy Haywood in the number 80, Chris Frenier is 12th, and 13th, Tyson Drown in the number 6. Therian will enjoy his victory lap around the Big A. Haywood in the 29 brings it home second. Good day for Nick. 3-time track champion now in the J&S Steel Sportsman Modified Division. And Jesse Mueller finishes in third with the number 19 machine. Here comes the victorious Bobby Therian back to victory. And for the final time this afternoon, we will go down trackside. Robbie is ready to talk for the 3rd time today. That could be a record that you get to talk to the same driver 3 times. Bobby Therian climbing
out of the car. Give him a nice round of applause. It's Bobby Therian. I think this might be his first Sportsman Modified victory. Up on top. This one a little bit more exciting for him. The car he's not as comfortable with, or that he's not used to. Now, Bobby, nice job, boy. Either you like talking to me or you like coming to victory lane. I think it's the second option. But for you, boy, this car was much like your late model. It was pretty hooked up for you. You started deep in the field, I believe, 9th on the grid, and you were able to pick cars off down on the bottom, one of the few cars that was hooked up down way on the inside groove.
This is awesome. I just, what a day. Sean and Molly LaFountain and Junior for letting me run their car. I've been wanting one of these trophies for these cars for quite a while now, so to get one feels awesome. My family helped out all day, bouncing back and forth between two cars. Jeff Carter was here. That guy's a wizard when it comes to these things, so it definitely helps.
Best part about this, for you, you held off some of the fast guys, and Nick Haywood, talk about the closing laps when you knew Nick was there. He was letting you know he was there with a tap on the back bumper. Talk about those closing laps.
It was an absolute blast to run with Nick. Last time I came close to winning one of these things, Nick stole it from me. So to hold him off this time felt great. Watching the scoreboard lap after lap, and I could see the 29, the 44, the 17 were all coming. And by watching the races here weekly, I know those are the fast guys, so I was getting a little nervous there for a while.
Well, for you, a late model win, a late model second place, and a Sportsman Modified win. Overall, a heck of a day for you. Nice job today, Bobby T.
Thank you. We'll call the day a success now.
That's Bobby Therian. Good day for him. Picks up the victory in the Sportsman